Ramachandra from the NR Hour Sports Show. This is episode 734 with current Los Angeles Chargers running back Austin Ekeler. Not only he's a great running back, he does stuff off the field. He has his own foundation, and he has a Gridiron gaming group that we're going to get to. But first of all, Austin, thanks for joining the show. I want to give a big shout out to your PR person, Peter, for setting this up. And how are you and your family doing so far during this tough situation?
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate the time. Looking forward to diving in today. I've been doing all right, man. Been trying to find ways to really help do my part, just really helping the things that I'm passionate about, which we'll get into here in a little bit. But as far as just day to day, just staying in shape, getting ready for this upcoming season, and trying to grow everything.
Yeah. So for you, I want to talk about your career first before we get into the important stuff. But while growing, when you were when you were younger and growing up, when did you start realizing that you wanted to play sports? And before you played football, did you get to play any other sports while growing up?
Yeah, actually, that's a great question. Younger Austin played a lot of sports.
Yeah.
My mother was a college basketball player. She played at, I think, UCCS, I think is what it's, some Colorado Division II school. And so just from that background, she wanted to put me in sports as well. And so the first sport I ever played was soccer and t-ball. I wrestled, played basketball, football, rode some bulls. Basically everything I could do, track, just basically everything. She wanted to just put me in everything. And then as I got older, you start to find that you don't like things, you do like things. And so it started narrowing down as it became older.
So who was that one person or one role model that you had in the sports industry while growing up?
I don't see this question. I don't like this question because I never had a person.
Right.
I never had a person that was like my role model growing up. I think it was more of an idea, right? Because I knew on myself, right? I like what I like. And there was not one person that was like, wow, I really want to be that person, right? It's more of the idea of what people are doing. And when you see people that are successful, you start to see like the traits that they have. And so I really looked up to really people that have made it out of situations that they maybe weren't like liking their situation at the time and pushed out and made it through that. I kind of looked up the idea of that and just that idea of like getting me out of a situation that I'm in that it's not the best to give me a better future.
So after your high school career, how many offers did you have coming out of high school? And obviously you picked Western Colorado. So take me back to your recruitment process when you were in high school.
Yeah, man. In high school, I pretty much dominated on the football field. And so, I was pretty optimistic, as far as when it came to recruiting, but recruiters had other plans. I had one offer. A lot of people came to me. Why I think it's crazy is because I ran for 2,300 yards and had 43 touchdowns.
Wow.
That was my senior year. Like I went to a small school. Sure. You're at a small school, but not. So if you're in a small school, what do you got to do to stand out? You got to dominate. And so I feel like I did. I had 2,300. I ran for I averaged like 10 yards a carry, had 4 or 5 touchdowns a game.
Man.
And so there was nothing more that I could have done to stand out. And so I don't understand how I didn't get recruited more than I did, but it ended up working out for me. So I had a lot of people that would come talk to me, and I think people just didn't understand like what position I was going to play. They were like confused, like, hey, come play corner. Hey, come in as an athlete. We'll see where you fit in. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to play running back, right? Like, this is what I've been doing. This is what I've had success doing. I want to continue to do this because this is what makes me like feel fulfilled on the football field. Like I have the most fun when I'm playing running back with the ball in my hand, scoring touchdowns. And so Western State came to me and they're like, hey, we want you to play running back. I'm like, let's go. I had some friends that already were on that team. And so that made the decision a little bit easier because I had a little bit more of a connection.
Right.
And yeah, pretty much they offered me, I pretty much accepted like the next couple of weeks, and then ended up being a Mountaineer.
Wow. So describe your experience at Western Colorado and playing in front of that fan base. And what was that experience like?
Yeah, so Western, if you guys don't know, which probably most of you that are listening have no idea where the heck Western State is. Well, it's not Western State anymore. It's Western Colorado University. Changed the name. It's in Gunnison, Colorado. The town, I believe, is like 4,000 or 5,000 people, and then the university was 2,500. So itty bitty. The elevation was like 7,800. So it was very tight knit community. So I really didn't get distracted. There's not a lot of shopping. The whole town's run on tourism, coming up to Blue Mesa Reservoir, skiing and stuff like that, because it's in the mountains of Colorado. So I was really, really dedicated to what I was in, because I was like, all right, like there's nothing else I can really do besides go ice fish. I'm not going to go skiing and snowboarding and injure myself. So was really locked in. I really developed a love, even further love, for working out and just being in the gym. And it's really contributed to my success today and kept me focused.
So obviously you didn't get drafted. So how tough is it sitting through the draft and not getting your name called? But obviously the Chargers gave you the chance to start your career. So how grateful are you that the Chargers gave you the first opportunity here?
Right. So during my senior year, I had a bunch of scouts at practices. It was weird because I'd never seen scouts at our practices before for any other player. And so like they're scouts at first. I was like, what the heck? And I was like, these people exist. What? So my senior year, I was getting interest, and I had a solid senior year again, and came to the day of the draft day. I didn't think I was going to go on the first 2 days. I was like, if I'm going to go, it's probably going to be 7th round.
Right.
And 7th round comes around about halfway through, and it was like, if I'm going to get drafted, it's probably going to be like here. And it didn't end up happening. But the Chargers, I'd done some research with my agent as far as where I wanted to go if I had the option to sign. And Green Bay was number 1, and then the Chargers were number 2. And Green Bay was number 1 because they had cut all the running backs, and they had zero running backs on the roster. So everyone running backs trying to go there, right? And so they ended up drafting 3 running backs. And so my agent calls me and he's like, hey, you're not going to Green Bay. Like, they already got established, you're not going there. I was like, all right, that's fine. Chargers. And so the Chargers actually ended up calling him about halfway through the 7th round. They're like, hey, if he doesn't get picked up in these last rounds, we're going to sign him as a free agent. So that's how that went down. So I kind of had some relief, even though I wasn't called on draft day. I actually ended up working out, because then I signed a 3-year deal, and I was able to get to my second contract a little bit faster. So that's like the technical stuff that actually ended up working out for me because I made the team. But yeah.
So was that the year that Aaron Jones got drafted there, when the Packers needed a running back? No, that was.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
17.
Huh. Yeah, 17. Yeah.
Yeah, 17. Yeah, I think that wasn't that Dalvin as well.
Yeah, I think that
Christian, Aaron Jones, the Seahawks guy, and then I was thrown in the mix there too. It was pretty good. It's a pretty good running back class.
Man, all I can say is all these other teams are missing out. You're a great talent, man. I mean, I'm telling you.
I appreciate that.
But I got to ask you this. So, what's your experience so far with the Chargers? Obviously, you started off in San Diego and then you moved to LA. But what's the experience so far playing with the Chargers?
As far as like my first year was the transition year.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So people are pissed off. They're pissed off. Like, we're moving out of San Diego, and people don't like Dean, our owner. It's like, I can't do anything about this. I got to show up and play. Right. So as far as the experience, the fan experience, I'm actually coming out. I'm literally campaigning to change the culture around the Chargers in our fan base,
right,
because we have an opportunity. We'll get here. Let me answer the question first. But it was spotty, like, especially going to the games. Like, it was great playing in front of all these people, but like it was like 60% away fans and like 40% Charger fans. So it was like, what the heck? It's just because people were just pissed off, and then, or they didn't want to come to the games now, right? Because now we're in a new stadium, and then they were super expensive because we only have 30,000 seats. So we had to hike the prices up. And so that discouraged people from being able to come. When the prices are $250 a ticket, you and 4 people come, that's $1,000. It's like, geez, it's getting really expensive real quick, when other stadiums like $60 for a ticket, right? So there's all these factors playing in, and obviously we're in California. People come vacation out here for a day, watch the game, and so there's the culture. I feel like it's stirred, right? It's just not like settled in. Like, we're going to all these other stadiums, and it's like, wow, like look at these fan bases, look at how just solid they are. Like, they got their chants and all this stuff. I'm like, we can have that. We can have that. So coming in and playing in StubHub, it was all right. It was all right. It was not great as far as the NFL experience. I would say it's a great experience, absolutely. But as far as the NFL experience, like I'm experiencing in away games, it wasn't the same. And so I feel like we have an opportunity with SoFi Stadium. We got new coaches. We had brand new jerseys. We got like just a new hype around the Chargers. Like, if we have the opportunity to come and set a culture, if we don't talk about setting a culture in our fan base, then it's not going to happen. People are going to come in and they're just going to be like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. Let's watch the Chargers, see if we're going to do the same old Chargers. No. We got to get rid of that mentality, because that's the mentality that keeps us being the same old Chargers. Like, we got to come in and set a new culture as far as we're going to get excited in the stands. Hey, players, we're excited that you guys are here. Come support us, please. We need your support, because when you guys come and you have energy, that thing it's contagious. It goes through ownership. It goes through the players. Like, we feed off of that. And so we need that. If you guys want to change, you guys got to help us change. We're going to put in the work regardless. But if you guys can come and you guys give us a lot of energy, you're going to give us another reason to play just that much harder. And so I'm campaigning. In every interview I have, I'm talking about this. So it's going to start getting around. I have to talk to the team too, get them on board.
I can help you guys out too if you want.
Let's go. Hey, if you're coming to the games, you're not getting excited, stay home. Stay home. We need nothing but big energy in SoFi Stadium. And we got to start off right. Because if we don't, then it's going to be like, oh, let's just see what happens. And we're all going to sit back and just wait. No, we're making it happen. We're making this energy. We're hyping it up, and let's go.
Yeah, I mean, you have a talented team. And so I got to ask you, so obviously you play with Phillip Rivers. So what was it like playing with the Hall of Famer, a quarterback like that? And then obviously you transitioned to Justin Herbert now. So, but first tell me your experience with Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, Phillip, he made it so easy for me my rookie year, just because of his knowledge of the game and the way he ran the offense made it just that much easier for me to come in and just be incorporated, because he'd be like, hey, you got this route. Hey, you got these guys. I might know my job, but he's just out there just telling everybody, hey, you do this, do this, do this. He's changing the play to how he envisions it. And so that really helped me just as a young player, because he was just so knowledgeable about what he wanted, what he saw, that it was like, okay, like once I started getting like a taste of like how this man plays, as far as like he's trying to dish the ball out, he's not trying to run. I just started building the chemistry with him, and it made it easier for me as a younger player, because I wasn't thinking as much. I was just able to play. And that's a big barrier when people come into the game, especially at the quarterback position, where you're just like thinking of like the plays, what's the routes, like you're not really creating for yourself. You're forcing things because you're like, oh, coach, show me throw here, stuff like that. So it's just like once you get over the mental barrier, and as a young player, transition Justin Herbert coming in, he was just getting thrown in there. You did see those mistakes early on, which it was expected. But I played with him for like 2 or 3 games before I got hurt. And when I came back, I came back like 2 months later. The development that he had made mentally was so tremendous, because he was out there. Now he's chief in the offense. Now he's calling protections. He's changing the plays. Like, I just love to see that. So I just need to see growth, because he showed that, hey, physically, this man can ball out. This man's got the arm to throw it deep. He can run. He's not afraid to literally truck somebody and knock him out on the sideline. I saw him right in front of me. I was like, oh my God, So this man has the physical attributes. Now it's just the mental barrier is what he's going to have to push through to really raise his ceiling.
Yeah, he has a bright future, and obviously he has a lot of talent around him, including yourself. And so I got to ask you though, what have you guys learned as a team? Obviously last year all of us been through a struggle with the pandemic and the coronavirus, but for you as a team, and what have you learned for yourself as a player during that situation from last year till now?
I think I just learned the real importance of leadership last year, because last year we didn't have as much chemistry as we would like have. And so, because we didn't have an off season, we didn't have any preseason games.
Yeah.
Like, we just got thrown straight into regular season. And it kind of just showed like just the leadership, as far as like, it's so important, especially when you have younger players coming in every single year, to kind of show them how to be a pro, how to build consistency, stuff like that. Because it's the difference between, like, I'm not saying our leadership is bad. I'm just saying that it showed me the importance of it, because we were a good team. Like, we were 7-9, like we're a solid team. Like, we're not great or anything. A great team's going to make a run for that playoff. We're a solid team. Like, we don't get paid to be a solid team. So it's like the culture of your team, way you guys do things, it really is going to separate you from being a good to a great team. And I think we just lost some of that last year, some of that potential that we may could have had if we did have it off season. And so I'm hoping we can get some type of adjustment or something like that, where we can build some chemistry, because we have a lot of new pieces, especially with the new coaching staff coming in, that we're really going to need to have time with each other, just to get to know each other. So because I don't want to be the first, like I'm your new coworker. So we'll see.
Yeah. So can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. All right, you got me.
Yep, you're good.
All right. So
you're good.
okay. Yep. So I want to ask you. So obviously you were injured last year, and how tough is it? Take me to the process when you got injured, and just take me to the process of that, and how you're feeling now, 100%, and are you ready for the season coming up?
Yeah, I mean that was probably I wouldn't say my worst injury, but it was definitely the longest injury I've had in my entire football career during the season. I missed like 7 games, I think. And it's always tough missing that many games because especially if it's a leg injury because I can't run, right? So I'm out for 2 months and I'm not running during these 2 months. And the first time I'm really running is okay, you're ready to run. All right, get back in the game. And so I lost a lot of my conditioning and strength. And so I see that it's like a different player when I watch my beginning games of the year and then when I try to finish it out. And so, but during the process, like I'm trying to get back as fast as I can, but at the same time, listening to all my teammates tell me, hey, if you have the hamstring, don't come back early because if you do, you tweak it again, then you could be right back where you just were. And so we were very cautious, just making sure that, hey, I'm getting like the proper treatment, I'm getting the proper rest time before I come back, and I'm really 100% sure that this thing is going to run. And like it came down to the point where the last week I was literally trying to hurt my hamstring. I'm like, if I'm going to be in the game, like I'm going to be having weight on me, I'm going to be running as fast as I can. And so I need to get some of that stimulation. So I'm in there doing full cuts. I'm doing full sprints. I'm doing full stops as hard as I can. So I made it through that. I was literally trying to hurt my hamstring. Like, come on, like testing it out. And, past all those tests, I was like, okay, I'm ready to get in the game. And so that was the process of that coming back.
Yeah, I see you working hard on Instagram, man. You're going to be comeback play. I mean, you're going to bounce back and have a great year. And obviously a quick thing here, my friend Kevin, he goes to the same gym as me, and he has you in his keeper league. So he expects high things for you this year.
Let's go, Kevin. Come on, man.
Yeah. So obviously this year the free agency process is madness. A lot of players are moving around, and obviously, and I see you have a Phillip Lindsay jersey behind you, and he's another undrafted guy. He's a stud too. And what was your reaction when he signed with another team in Houston?
Yeah, there must have been something going on in there. I can't really speak as far as like details on what's going on because I mean I feel like this man is definitely worth more than what he signed for, but it just seemed like they couldn't get a deal done. I don't know if it's because Melvin was there and they had too much money in the running back room if they signed him now, but I'm sure there was some politics playing into it, and then it just seems like okay, he just decided he's going to take it 1 year and try to prove himself one more time so he can get out of that situation and then really get his next contract. But free agent guys, man, I want to see us get paid. Especially as running backs as well. Like when he took the deal he did, I really felt bad because I know all the running backs know who watched Phillip Lindsay. This man ran back-to-back 1,000 yards as a Pro Bowler. Like this man's making what for 1 year? Like it just honestly, he got disrespected in my opinion. And so literally the NFL, like it's really like, hey, every man for themselves in a way, but we got to stick together as much as we can. So. I'm definitely wanting to see my man get paid after this next year.
Like I said earlier, both of you should have been drafted. I'm a big fan of the draft, and I've seen your draft class, and both of you should have been drafted. Phillip Lindsay and you guys, man, they're disrespecting these.
Here's the thing. I had a conversation with my agent. He's like, if teams think that they can pick you up in free agency, they're not going to draft you. They're just not going to draft you. Why would they draft you? Like they're going to be like, okay, even if you're the same level, but one guy has more exposure because he went to a bigger school. And so a lot more people are like interested. Oh, this kid's decent. And you're also decent, but you went to a small school. They're going to pick the kid that went to a bigger school because he has more eyes. He's just someone that probably is going to get picked up in the 7th round. But it's like a guy like me, where it's like, he's going to go undrafted because of just the exposure. Right. So there's some politics, there's some science to all of this. In the end, it ended up working out for me. In the end, it's always going to work out if you come in, you put the work in, you show that you have value to the team, right?
Yeah. So before we get to the things that you're doing off the field, this is a 2-part question. So what are you most looking forward to this season as a team, and what are your personal goals? And obviously, as a team, you guys have a talented team. And the next question here, I just want to get your reaction. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on the 17-game schedule?
Yeah, so as far as my personal goals, that never changed since I've been in the NFL. It's always to build off the season I did before. And so last year, I was injured, but I feel like I built myself into more of a leadership role, especially in the running back room. And it's going to be to build on that, and also just to build on like the efficiency that I had, in just the offense. And then I guess an added on goal this year is to really build chemistry with my new coaches. Because I believe building that chemistry really helps just get the message all the way across through the team. Really looking forward to building this new culture around the Chargers and trying to get this campaign. I'm going to be campaigning as long as I'm here, man, to get this energy going for this team because we can do it. We're in LA, and if we can get it, especially if we get it before the Rams get it, then it's going to be just let's go see the Charger game, and it's a different culture over there, and that's what I'm trying to get. So that's what I'm looking forward to during this season. Just another opportunity to play as well. But then 17 games, I'm kind of torn between it because I see both sides, which both sides like, okay, you get one more paycheck, and the other side is, okay, now we have more wear and tear. My thing is that we've played 16 games for so long, and it's been successful, and it's actually continuing to grow as far as our ratings, our viewership, the TV deals, they've continued to grow. And so that's why I'm like, we probably don't need more games. We don't need more games. Like the thing, it's just it's a money grab is really what it is. But then on the flip side, it's like, younger Austin is probably, like, dang, I get another paycheck. Like, this is great. Like I'm still fresh, so there's got to be a balance though. It's because you don't want it to get out of hand where now it's like every new contract or every new CBA, every 10 years, we're just adding games. And so that the wear and tear is going to start to accumulate. And, yeah, it's just, it's a weird space. Like, do I agree? Like one game? Yeah, I'll play one game. Like one more game, it's not going to be terrible. The 16 game season already is a grind. Yeah. And how I feel in week 16 is like, man, if I'm not making playoffs, like, okay, I'm ready to be done. I need to make sure I get out of this healthy. And so as far as that, like, yeah, I don't want the extra grind. Absolutely not. This season, like the NFL season, the injury rate is 100%. There's literally 100%. You're going to go to the trainer for something for whatever reason every season. So, if we can keep 17 games and not continue to grow, then I'm okay with that. But that's just what I want to try to avoid.
All right, so now let's talk about your Gridiron Gaming Group and then the foundation. But first, I want to get to your Gridiron Gaming Group. How did that come about, and how grateful are you to have that?
Yeah, Gridiron Gaming Group basically is a resource that streamers that are part of the group can use to better further their stream, to connect with their community and build their community and do collabs with people in the community. So basically we're all on Twitch. We have, I think, 10 members now, ranging from all different sports. Like, for example, Alicia Gray from the WNBA, Connor Daly from IndyCar, Tommy Canley, pitcher for the Dodgers. And then we have some various Avante Maddox, Mike Williams.
Yeah, your teammate Mike Williams. Yeah.
Mike Williams, Justin Jones, Trent Sig. So we have people from the NFL. We have people all over. The thing is like, these are people that are already streaming on Twitch. And so basically we're trying to connect with the community. We're giving you guys a little bit more insight on who we are off of our court field, out of our sport, right? And just showing you who we are and showing our passions. And so, yeah, it's a great way to come and connect, win some giveaways, stuff like that when you find us on Twitch. And then another side of Gridiron Gaming Group is our big events. So we're doing one for the Super Bowl. We're also doing one for the NFL draft. It's called GGG Draft Day event. It'll be on the draft. It'll be hosted on my Twitch channel. It's Austin Ekeler on Twitch. And basically it's going to be a big social. So we have someone to represent every single team. So every team is on the clock for 10 minutes, right? Whether they use that all or not, that's up to them. But as long as they're on the clock, that representative from that team, most of them are guys that play on the team. For example, Trent Sig plays for the Raiders. He's going to be, with them. We have, for the 49ers, we have Raheem Mostert. And so he's going to be like representing like the 49ers. So like there's different like players that are going to represent that time. They're going to have a time to come in and talk about what they have going on. It's basically a big social, big plug for them. We'll talk about the draft pick. It should be a good event. We'll do some giveaways and just have a good time. It's just a different way to watch the draft. It's basically the draft, but from the player side, a little backstage draft social.
Wow, that's awesome. And speaking of Twitch, you should get Blake Snell with you guys. Blake Snell is big on Twitch too.
Blake Snell? Hey, I'll look into that. Yeah, absolutely.
The Padres pitcher. Yeah, okay. He's big into Twitch, and he plays video games a lot. I've seen that, and you should reach out to him, and I'm sure he'll glad to join you guys. So,
yeah, awesome. Appreciate that.
So how competitive do you guys get though when it comes to gaming though? Like outside of the other stuff you do, but when you guys play games, how competitive are you guys?
See, it's different. So you have to go to different streams to find out what they're doing. Because in my stream, you're not going to really see me playing games. Like I just streamed last night, or my last stream, I literally was just hanging out, just talking about mental health.
Yeah.
talk about mental health, social awareness, motivation, and physical health. I was just chatting, hanging out with the community. I do giveaways, like I do signed card giveaways. Like I have a bunch of like signed cards. I'll sign cards and do giveaways during the entire duration like of my stream. But so for me, it's a social. But if you go into like Mike Williams, Alicia Gray, they're gonna be playing Call of Duty. You know, if you go to Trent Sig, he might be playing Rocket League or Madden. And so like there's different ways that we don't necessarily all play together, but we all are part of the same group. And so we all share the same community and say the same basic hub as far as what we're doing.
So now I want to get to your foundation and what's that been like for you guys to have that foundation, and what does it entail?
Yeah, so the foundation is basically to help young people, help people that are just people in general, find a way to find what their passions are and learn skills that are going to be transferable basically through the future. And the way we're doing that is by giving places that are lacking resources, the resources they need to get people out and actually learn these skills. And what I mean by that, why I say that is because like you could talk about learning those 4 things I just said: social health or mental health, physical health, social, and your passions. Like you could talk about it, but it's different if you actually are going and experiencing that. And as a young people, like, you know, like middle school, high school, like you need to be actually physically learning these skills. You can't just talk about it and then it's going to retain. And I would even argue that as an adult as well. Like you need to actually go be about it and do these things. And so I'm really trying to help the youth just learn these skills and then be able to transfer that as they get older. And so, for example, our first project has been building a weight room for Santa Barbara. And for me, it really hits home with me because I know in the weight room, that's where I learned a lot of mental discipline, where I learned to work with a team, or learned to be social, where I learned to work hard. And that was just one of the resources that played into the bigger picture. And so for places that don't have these things that are really accessible to everyone, you know, that's where we're trying to come in with the Austin Ekeler Foundation and help provide that resource and help show that, hey, yeah, you can make it. You just got to be able to take advantage and actually you use the resources that we're putting there.
Wow, interesting. That's amazing. And also, you launched it in last year. So, what's it like seeing it growing rapidly? And obviously, what do you guys have next for the foundation coming up?
Right. So, I mean, the foundation doing anything right now in the pandemic is really slow because everything's backed up. So the gym is still, I think we finalized on the gym like a few months ago. Right. So we finally got to the point where we're ready for the funding. It's paid for. Now we're okay. We can, you know, come implement this thing. It's when I say gym, I mean like weight room gym, not a gymnasium like basketball gym. Sorry, clarity. So, but my next project is going to be in Griffith Park. I can't touch too much on it because it's not official yet, but it's really close. Basically, it's going to be a way for people to come use technology outside in the park, right? Because technology is a huge part of our lives. It's never going to go away at this point. You know, unless something crazy happens. Now, I guess never say never. But right now, it's really involved in our lives. So this is a way for we're targeting young people, but literally anyone could go use it. You go use your technology in the park to express yourself, to show what you have, to show your passions. Maybe like say a story, or maybe you just take pictures. Like you can do TikToks, you can do anything in front of it. It's very unique to this specific project where we have our own filters, our own things that you can put behind it to really elevate your social. And so yeah, stay tuned and with Austin Ekeler Foundation to learn more about that in the future in the next coming months. But it's going to be a really big project. I'm really excited about it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So keep up with the great work there. And a couple more things here before we let you go. Obviously, today would have been Sean Taylor's 38th birthday. And can you explain what he has meant to the game of the NFL? Obviously, former Washington safety, defensive back. He could have been a great player in the league. But explain to me what has he meant to the game?
Yeah, so I'm not really familiar with Sean Taylor, so I can't speak on any of that instance.
Okay. So the last 2 things here before I let you go, I was actually our team is part of a foundation called the Hugh Jackson Foundation. Obviously, he's a former NFL coach, but trying to get back into coaching. But we're trying to help them prevent human trafficking and making sure these kids stay safe and making sure the community stays safe. And we're really grateful to be part of it. And they're doing great things for their foundation. And I'll send you guys a page so you can check it out. And if you want to help out too. And I'm willing to help out with your foundation too. And it's a great thing that when it comes to foundations, it's amazing helping out people. And we're really grateful to be part of the Hugh Jackson Foundation. So I just want to bring that up. And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and essential workers?
Well, big thank you, I guess, right? Like for just pushing through with us. yeah, I guess, it's been a grind for them all year and then coming into this year. And so they've also helped us in the NFL put on a full season, even though the pandemic was going on. So very thankful for all the work that they put in, even though they've been getting worked overtime, for allowing us to do the things that we love to do.
So there it is. That wraps up episode 734 with current Los Angeles Chargers running back Austin Ekeler. This has truly been an honor, and like I said, keep up the great work, and you're going to come back strong this season, and I'm rooting for you. And obviously, like I said earlier, my friend Kevin, he has you in the keeper league, so he expects high things for you. But like, keep up the great work with the Gridiron Gaming Group, and obviously the foundation. And this has been an honor. So you and your family stay safe.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, man. You have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you. You too.